Assassin's Creed Shadows is finally taking fans of the series to the one place they have been crying out to visit, feudal Japan. But despite what we've seen so far, we still have so many questions, like, how did they choose their protagonists? And what took them so long to get to Japan? And with the release date of November 15th creeping up on us like a shinobi in the night, we decided to go straight to the source and speak with the game's producer, Carl O'Neill.
Great power comes great responsibilities, but it's been obviously yes, very exciting, something that the team has been wanting to do for years, and we felt like it was the right time after working obviously on Syndicate, on Odyssey, and now with the new power of the consoles and PC, with the power of new hardware and a new version of our engine, we could finally deliver basically the vision we had for feudal Japan. You've seen that basically we're pushing, the light and shadow in particulars, for instance, and it's very performance hungry. We also have all the new seasons. We really wanted the art and the gameplay really to intertwine and to deliver what we call the ultimate Assassin's Creed experience. So basically, so you have two protagonists. They meet by fate, I would say, in some way that, Naoe, she's a shinobi. She's from Iga. Iga is the mountainous region, but it's the birthplace of the shinobis. And basically, Yasuke comes from, he's originally from Africa, from Mozambique, most likely. And he comes with the Jesuit, and he comes into service for Oda Nobunaga. And what happened is that Oda Nobunaga is going to invade Iga. That's the history. And basically, they're going to be on two different sides, basically. She's going to be defending her home, and is going to be working with Oda Nobunaga until fate happens that they will have to work together for a common objective. So they are very two different gameplay, two different progression, and even the narrative is pretty different in the way that, for instance, the crowd, but also when you talk to a quest giver, they're not going to react to the same way to one character or the other. As Yasuke has the honor of a samurai, so they respect, he's been giving respect, whereas she's from a farmer background, so people will not react the same way to both of them. For instance, the crowd in the street will bow to Yasuke, as you may have seen, whereas it doesn't happen, for instance, for Naoe. You're not going to have a third-person character like Layla that you will be able to play, so it's more about reliving the memories of historical characters, but it's not. But we're not going to have a present-day playable character like we had in the past. So basically, when we start working on a game such as Assassin's Creed, there's a lot of research behind it. But there's also, like I was saying, there's the setting, there's the research, and there's obviously what story we want to tell. Obviously, when you pick the setting, you also pick, what time period and why do we want to do it. What was interesting, obviously, when we picked the Momoyama Atsushi period was that it is a pivotal moment in history, and it was around the unification of Japan, all centered and revolving a lot at the beginning around Oda Nobunaga. But when you build all this together, obviously, we look at the fantasies, and there's the power fantasy of obviously the shinobi that exists. It's very strong, but there's also the power fantasy of the samurai. They're very equal in some way. And obviously, when you think about Assassin's Creed, you think about shinobi immediately. But while we were exploring the story, like I was saying about Oda Nobunaga, you find out about this character Yasuke, who is a foreigner, originating from Africa, that comes into a service of one of the most powerful person in Japan, Oda Nobunaga. And we don't have much information about him. It's a very enigmatic. So basically, it's a great canvas to tell, a story and have this person getting the honor of a samurai. So when you put all of them together, that's how suddenly you have two characters, two power fantasies working together around, like I said, a story. And like I was saying, you end up working with Oda that is invading the homeland or the home province of Naoe. So that's how we came to the creation of these two characters working together. So now she's stealth, she's agile, but at the same time she's fragile. She doesn't have an armor. But Yasuke is really tall. He's have an armor. He's more combat, oriented. They're both lethal, but one is more resistant than the other. And obviously, when we want to do this, we had 2 different progressions because they have their weapons. They really play differently. Obviously, you can do combat with both of them, like you can do stealth with both of them. But you may not be very discreet with Yasuke, and you're not going to be very resistant with Naoe. So, it really depends how you want to play it. And what is good is every setup can be played differently. What's interesting is that obviously you can see that there is a great appeal for feudal Japan. People are very interested, and we knew that also our players had been waiting for this setting for a long time. So obviously, it's interesting to see what other companies do. But we already knew what we wanted to do. Like I said, because we have obviously the brand of the DNA. But what's interesting is really to take this direction that with the dual protagonist, and also pushing the boundaries further with like dynamic weather. You've seen that we have lots of destruction. You can slice, you can smash, you can. So it's very interesting to see how our take can also interest people, and I believe they will like it.